Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jane Chuku, the CEO of Jane Chuk Smith Spices, the CEO of Refalso Plautus Limited. I know most times you'll be wondering why I'm always having this plug in my front. My company, we actually run about 7 or 10 companies as a family. Just like you have Dangote group of companies, we have the Benjamins group of companies that is made up of different things. And these companies did not all start immediately when we got married. Some started, and at the end of the day, we started building others to come up. So there are a number of things I want to deal with this afternoon. Number one, why couples cannot build successful businesses together. Number two, how you can run your business as a sole proprietorship business, a PLC business, and yet run it as though you're running a public traded business. Yes, it can be done. Number three, how can salaries be paid and shares be paid when a husband and a wife is running a business? Then, number four, how do we avoid paying unnecessary tax? Of course, you know, in 2026 January, the government have said that every citizen of Nigeria, whether a company or an individual that earn a certain amount of money, will be paying a certain amount of tax monthly or yearly. So how do I calculate this? As a person who owns a store, how do I calculate this? As a person who has a shop, I know the kind of entrepreneurship we run in Nigeria is majorly the one that has to do with those who own shop. You are the oga, you are the boss, you are the everything. You are the only one who makes decisions on what happens, and then you have the freedom to spend as you want. In as much as that is convenient to run, but that is a disastrous way to run it. You can also run a sole proprietorship business as a public traded business. Yes, we are practicing it in my home. Even though our company is a PLC, we also, a limited liability company, we run it as if it's a PLC, a public liability company. So how do you do this? How do you remove emotions from your family business so that this business can expand and sustain? Because I have seen many people, especially young men that run businesses, by the time they get married and they have children, their businesses start going down or they start struggling financially. And what happens that wives of business people end up being housewives? These are discussions and even more that we're going to be talking about today. So if you have just joined this period, I'm super excited for you. And I want to encourage you to please invite somebody. Share. This is where you have the shares now, because this has been a problem in marriages. I'm telling you, many marriages have suffered divorce because of money issues. Many families have been limited when it comes to running business. And before we go into that, remember the timing for this show today was 1 p.m. But I started a lot earlier so that I can discuss other things. I made a post on my page on how I built a business as a teenager. Yes, and I want this to be on record if you're listening, so that it will be important you share it, a mini video to others. So you could share this to other teenagers. You can share it if you're a pastor or you have teenagers in your timeline. Most teenagers don't have the ability to listen to long teachings. So they always have this poor attention span. So this particular message, I want you to record it now. Let it be on record, okay? Let it be on record. Get out your phones and begin to make a record of this teaching that I want to do. Now, as a teenager, hello everybody, are we there? I hope you have gotten your phone records ready. Get your phone record ready. So I want to tell you how a teenager can build businesses. We have made a lot of mistakes over the years, thinking that teenagers cannot build businesses. One of the silly mistakes of parents. And today we are seeing teenagers running businesses online, TikTok business, skits and all that, because they want to make money. We say concentrate in school. You are a poor parent, you can't supply their needs, and yet you're telling them to concentrate in school. So how can a teenager set up a marketing company Now, the name Jane has been there for a very long time. In fact, I started out as a marketer in my childhood. Okay, during my childhood, I sold gari, I sold soup condiments, and I sold a lot of things while growing up. All right. Now, these things, I was selling it just to raise money. I have told the story where when I was in primary six, during the time I was about to write my junior what the school leaving certificate. Yes. So I used to fry granuts and go to school. Then in the class, I sell the granite to raise money so I can pay my bills. So I started entrepreneurship quite early. But as I grew and became a teenager, I started to brand myself. I owned a marketing company, and that marketing company was specialized in marketing products. So you can open a company as a teenager that is 18 years old, and that company, you can decide not to even register it. It's not compulsory that you register, but the company should be it should be something that should be, in motion. Yes, it should be in motion before registration. So I had Jane Arewa Consult. Okay, that was what I was to do. Then I used to have also a Ariosity. In fact, my company name there was Ariosity because that was, in fact, my email is an Ariosity. Ariosity, that was the name that used to come. So I used to write Ariosity Company. That was the brand that I had then. So I started marketing different kinds of business. As a teenager, you are privy in this time to have an internet. You're on Facebook, you're on TikTok. Yes, most teenagers at the age of 18 years, 17 years, immediately you finish your secondary school, your parents buy you phones. One of the things you should do instead of wasting your time and just scrolling around internet is to look for a product you should start posting. We have helped a lot of teenagers and a lot of young persons with our product, Jane Chooks Me Spices. How do you become an affiliate marketer? You go to the market, find out the original price of the product. Then you post with your own profit on it. When a customer needs this product, they pay for it, you go to your supplier, you get it from your supplier, and then you supply and get your profit. Yes, I started my marketing business without capital. What do? When I was doing drop shipping of shoes, I will post shoes, see pictures of shoes. I belong to a group. I will get the pictures of the shoes. If the shoes was 18,000 naira, I can post it for 20,000 or 25,000 or 22,000, depending. When a customer pay, I will tell the customer how much it will take to arrive in their location and how much the shoe is. Then my profit will be kept for me. So as somebody who is running such business, you're a business owner. You can register that business. Every company must not be into production. There are companies that are into logistics. There are companies that are into marketing. So your own will now fall into marketing. So most people, when you want to register a company, they begin to ask you, what is the things that your company is? If you don't have anything in mind, that you just say marketing of products. Yes, marketing and distribution of products. So a teenager can actually start a marketing and distribution of products. Okay, that's it for the teenagers now. Now, we are going to talk about something important that I need you to pay attention to, because most times men are the ones who fall victims of these things. We are in an environment where we have patriotic men. Very, very, most of us who come from the east, south, in fact, everywhere, Nigerian men, African men are told to provide for their wives. So as a woman, originally, you are told to stay in the house, take care of children. And that has affected a lot of marriages, because this man is doing his business, has his boys who are serving him, and then the woman is in the house taking care of children. At the end of the month, what he does, or every week, he gives 20,000 or 30,000 naira for food. And this woman is not fulfilled. Maybe he goes out and he sees where they are opening Turkish clothes or one or two things he buys. That's even for the ones who will buy. And others, maybe a month, they will just say, okay, I will give you 100,000 or 50,000. But as a woman in this time and age, no woman can survive with 50,000. And because you are paying the bills of a woman, like you feed her, you house her, you buy clothes. If she wants to go out, she asks you for transport and you give to her, does not mean that you're completely paying that bills. Because a woman has a need personally. Sometimes she might want to get her lipstick, she might want to get a hair, she might want to get shoes, she might want to pay her tithe, she might want to see businesses she wants to invest in, and she doesn't have money. So keeping an adult woman at home to raise children for you is the reason why you're having severe problems, crisis in the marriage. Severe marital crisis. And this should stop from today, from 2025. It should be the end of it. Just like the company is starting, Nigeria is starting to pay tax by 2026 January. Let it be a new thing. In fact, this should be part of your New Year resolution as a family. Let it be your New Year resolution as a family, okay? So you need to understand that this woman that you have brought into your family, your marriage, or your home is a human being. Let's say, for example, some of you, I heard something very hilarious, a few days ago. A woman told me that a husband said he did not marry her to be doing businesses and doing transactions and making money. He just wanted a woman that will have children and take care of children. What brought the discussion? This woman is doing business. She is a Gentrix Smith Spices ambassador, and she has a shop that she markets, people working. Now she has children who are in school, and she's like, okay, please, I will need a house help at home or an assistant at home. This assistant will be helping me with the children or stay in the shop when I'm going to pick the kids, or stay at home with the children when I'm in the shop. The husband said, over his dead body, will he allow her to have a help? When she complained to me, I said, well, he has a choice. Because if he's married to someone like Jane, that marriage will not work. Absolute. I'm not going to divorce you, but it's not going to work. Okay? What I mean it's not going to work is that I'm going to have a help and let the hell and whatever loose. Because you cannot keep a woman to do all of that, and yet you are not even financially strong. This is the man who is struggling financially. They're still in rented apartments. The car he has is 1908 car that is already stressing. The wife does not even have up to 50,000 given to her on a monthly basis. In fact, this month, when the man's vehicle spoiled, it was her that catered for the house. She catered for the things that the house needed. So how do you now tell this woman that she wouldn't need it? It means that you don't love me as a husband. It means that you don't even care about me. It means that you're happy that I should stress and die. And cannot. I cannot love marriage more than I love myself. Bible says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. And if I'm to love marriage, I have to love myself first. And one of the ways to love myself is to make sure I take care of myself and I'm healthy. Abraham and Sarah didn't have any child, and yet they had so many helps. That's the reason why Abraham was wealthy. He had a lot of people to cater for these things. The major lecture is starting from 1 o'clock. This is just us having some teachings, and it's almost one already. So it's important these structures are put in place. Now, singles, you're listening to me. These are the things you discuss. Having an assistant in the house is a must. Because same husband is the one that will complain if his food is not ready when it's supposed to be ready. He will complain if the house is dirty. He will be the one to complain. By the time you tell him, please, can you help me sweep? Can you help me do? He won't. Now, the husband in quotes is saying that he will help her with house chores. But I and you know, you and I know that she cannot command that man to sweep the house as of when she wants it to be swept. She cannot tell the man to on the gas and warm food. She cannot command him. So he will only do what he wants to do per time. So a woman needs help. Someone she can command, someone she can give instructions to. No matter the help a husband is offering to a woman, she can never instruct that man to do that. So help is very important. Unless you don't want to build an empire, you don't want to make money. And look at families that families without help are very poor families. There are no wealthy family without help, because you need the brain, the timing, and the activities of your wife for you to grow your businesses. All right? So that is not what is to be negotiated at all. And what I encourage women to do, if your husband does not have money to bring in helps, use your money and bring in the help. Pay the help. If people are living in one room, get money, rent 2 rooms or 3 rooms so that the help can have one room, your children can have 1 room. If your husband is worried that the help can maltreat your children, put CCTV in your house. If your husband is worried that witches and wizards, they can possess the children, then pray and lead the help to Christ when they come. Yes, someone that is in Christ cannot. And then look for matured people. Don't go and look for a little child that you'll be maltreating. A help should be somebody from 18 years above. I have never had any help that is below 18 years in my house. This issue of carrying 9 years, 10 years old little children to handle things in the house is slavery, is child slavery. And somebody who is doing child slavery cannot grow financially. That's why all of you who have those kind of helps and your husband have a shop, you are all broke. That's not how a family is run. Okay? So, once again, welcome everyone. I'm ready now to go into the topic of today. Who is online and where are you joining me from? Who's online? Where are you joining me from? Okay. I'm seeing Sylvia. I'm seeing, okay. Chiwendo. Chairman is online. I'm seeing Idara James. All right, people. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. We are in the business of the day. How do you structure a liability company? How do you structure a family business so that there will not be an issue? How do you even structure a sole proprietor business to be like a publicly traded business or a PLC? These are the things we are going to talk about. Now, let's go. There are basic people that are needed in every business. Yes, I'm going to start with the basics. Whether you have a small shop or you have a big shop, whether you have a large office where people are working, or you are just doing the business in your one room, whether you don't even have a shop at all, you only run your business online, you take the position of these people I'm about to mention. Number one, every business needs a cleaner. Sorry, excuse me. Every business needs a security person that will take care of it. Every business needs an accountant. Every business needs a storekeeper. Are you listening to me? Every business needs a logistics person. Every business needs a legal person. Every business needs director of operation. Now, you can decide to be everything in the business and collect that salary to yourself, which is what a lot of us operate at the lower when we start our business early. Let me use an example. Marketers in my business, they are individual marketers. But even though they are individual marketers, if you're a sub-distributor of Jane Chooks Me Spices, listen to what you're doing. Number one, as a sub-distributor, remember that you market online, both offline and online. So you have a marketer. It doesn't matter who is assuming the duty. Let's finish the things that are happening as a normal marketer. You have a marketer. You have a logistic manager. This is the person who takes goods. When your customers order goods, that person that takes it to the pack. It can still be you, but these are somebody who takes it to the pack. You have a logistic officer. You have a storekeeper. You have a storekeeper. Because when people order goods, of course, when your customer pays in 120,000, you write it 120,000, 10 packs of tea. So that's the job of a storekeeper. Okay? You clean the environment where you keep your tea. So you have a cleaner in that business. Now, you pay transport to where you're going to. So you have transportation. Apart from the logistic person who, because whether the company has this thing or not, the logistic person is different from transportation. Transportation enters where you now buy fuel and own a car. Okay? You have transportation. If there is issue, you sold product to someone and there was problem and then you begin to seek for advice, you try to calm the situation or you quarrel with the person or this thing, you have a legal person. So whether it is you who is the legal representative, you have a legal person. Customers come to make inquiry. How do we know about your business and all this? How do we do this thing? How do we do that? You are the front desk. You are the, what do they call it? HR, human relation. So you have a human relation officer. So right now, as a sub-ambassador of Jane Chooks Me Spices, you are doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 jobs in one. So that You know what you're doing. You are doing 7 jobs in one. And you know that if you sell just one sub-ambassador's products in a month, some of you who sell only one sub in a month, that's why you're not making any money. 10 packs of JCMS as an ambassador gives you 30,000 naira profit. That is 30,000 profit. Oh. That 30,000 naira profit is not your money. Now, let's assume you're a very serious person and you sell up to 20 ambassadors pack in a month. Let's say you're a state distributor and you sell 20 ambassadors pack. It means that you're making 600,000. I'll tell you how you can schedule this to know. Because some of you don't even know how to sow your seed, give your tithe, and even dash people money. Now, in this, you paid for way bill to receive this product from company. Let's assume you paid for this 600,000, you paid 20,000. Okay? Somebody should help me and making this calculation. You paid 20,000 to receive this product. Then you paid 1,000 or 2,000 naira to go to the pack. That's logistics. So to go to the pack to pick up the product, 2,000 naira to go to the pack to pick up the product from, because when the product arrives in your state, you have to move from your house to go and pick it up. Every day you go to the market to prospect to sell your boy tea. That boy tea, you're using gas to boil it in your house. So let's say in a month you use gas of 5,000 to boil your tea. Then as you boil that tea, you are using cups. You bought dispenser, you're using cups. Maybe you even have this one, serviette. Now let's say the cups you bought, serviette and things to serve your tea, cost you 10,000 naira. That's it. Every day you leave your house to go and sell that tea, you pay transport. Let's assume you're going and coming back to that market, that school and different streets and park that you went to. You spend 1,000 naira every day, or let's say 500 naira every day. That is it will be too small. Okay, 1,000. Let's say 1,000. 1,000 times, let's say 28 days. That's 28,000. 28,000, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Have you seen? So that some of you you don't even know what you're doing. You don't calculate. That's why you're spending. You're just doing things that way. Now, it is in the law of salaries. A company should pay out 15 to 30% of their income as salaries. Do you understand? 15 to 30% of their income as salaries. So now, whether you are the CEO, of course, you know the office of the CEO is here too. The CEO. You are the chairman, the CEO, the marketer, the everything of this thing. So for you to be fair to yourself, after you have calculated all of these things you spent, 20,000 to receive, 2,000 from the park transportation, gas 5,000, we are talking about 27,000, 35,000 here, 35,000 plus 28,000. We are having 35 plus 28, that's 63,000 already. You need data, you need airtime, because you post online, you even chat and call up clients to tell them how is it going. So let's assume that you use data of 10,000 in a month. We have a total of 75,000. So now you made a profit of 600,000, and 75,000 has already gone in the logistics of moving around. Okay, now let's pay your salaries. The what? No, talk.
525 is remaining.
Okay, 525,000. 525,000 is remaining, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, out of the 525,000, your company should only use 15 to 30% as salaries. Because as a company, you're intending to expand. You want to be a regional. You cannot pay out all your salaries in this thing. So it's 15%. You can Google it or read up on it. 15% to 30%. Let's assume that you want to take 30%. 30% of 10% of 500,000. Let's start with that. 50,000. So 30% is like 150. So now in all of this money, what is available to you is 150K. This 150K, you now see, okay, as the CEO, without marketing, there is not going to be any sales. So the CEO is the idea behind the company. The CEO should have at least, let's say, 50,000 salary, 50K. The marketer is very important. The marketer is paid 40,000. Then the logistic officer, let's say you pay 20K to the logistic officer because you're a small business. The storekeeper, you pay 20K. Okay, let's say 25K. The storekeeper works every day, 25K. The cleaner, you pay 15K because it's a one-man business. Then transportation that you moved around. Because as somebody who is working, you have to go to the office. Whether they are paying you 50,000 naira a month, like some of those children that work in wet markets or in shop, the salary they pay them is where they remove their transport. Let's assume that your transportation to do those things costs you how much in a month?
28,000.
Let's say 20,000. No, this one is different from this. Let's say 20,000. You can track the remaining one until you begin to make money. Then customers will call you and say, this your tea is not working. This thing is not. And headache, you go into human relation officer trying to say, how did you take the tea? Please explain to me. Like some of us have noticed that majority of the people that buy tea, you tell them boil 7 spoons in 60 cl. They will not do what you ask them to do. Reboil it to this, they will not do it. You now start explaining, sir. You know, that is HR. Remember, you are taking up all of this responsibility. Now, you pay your HR. Let's say 20K. How much is money in this money? Emmanuel, check. Do we still have money even?
After it's
85,000.
185.
No. Leave the 75,000. It's 150 we're doing now. Okay, look at the CEO 50K. Let's do it. CEO 50K. Marketer 40K. Logistics 20K. Storekeeper 25K. Cleaner 15K. Transportation 20K. Then legal. How much is the total now?
390,000.
No.
We are calculating all the salaries.
Just start from what I'm calling now.
450,000 of your 550.
Remove it. Just start what I'm calling now. I said CEO 50,000, marketer 40,000, logistic officer 20K, storekeeper 25K, cleaner 15K, transportation 20K, HR 20K. That's how much?
490,000.
You see, your 50,000 you've even exceeded the 30%. You see that the company is running at loss. Then your legal advisor, you pay, let's say, 15,000. Trouble they come every time if you're a serious-minded person. You're paying 15K. That's how much? 205,000. So at the end of the day, if your 30% of your profit is not up to 205,000, that company has experienced a loss. So now, if your sister or brother calls you from village and say, brother, I beg, I need 20,000, that money is not available. This is the challenge we're having. A lot of family members, because they think they know you're a billionaire, they feel that when they ask you money, you should just throw at them. It does not work that way. Being a billionaire and having a multi-billion naira company does not give you access to all of that money. And you shouldn't start spending. That's the challenges we're having. They start spending. You will see a man will wake up and because he has 525,000 as profit. Instead of him to place himself on a salary of this total of 150,000 or 205,000 naira, he will go and start spending money from this other money. Now, see what happens. Let's say, for example, you're doing this thing as a woman or a man, or you're doing it as a single person. You get married. You're married. Another person has come to join you. Remember, CEO, you're the CEO, the brain behind it. Now, what you do is this. You can call your spouse and tell them, do you want to take over the marketing job? You'll be posting, marketing this business. Whether people are selling crayfish or anything, you'll be the one to market and bring customers. And the person say, yes, I can do marketing. Your wife can decide to be in the house and do marketing business. Or come to the shop to snap once in a while and do marketing business. You are to pay her that 40,000 naira that is allocated for marketers. The idea of telling your wife to come and stay in a shop or in the market after every sales, you will tell her, hey, am I not feeding you? You know, this is what most of Onitsha men are doing. Igbo men, that's what they're doing. They marry their wives. I have heard a lot of complaints about this. They marry these women, they keep them, tell them to come to their shops. These women stay in their shops and sell for them at the end of the month. Oh yeah, find me something. Say, do you know how much I spent? Do you know how much I spent in eating, in feeding? Excuse me, sir. If she was working somewhere, they will pay her. What you're supposed to do is when you pay her that 40,000 naira, she can decide to bring out her own parts to contribute to the family bills. If you don't run it like this, that means you're not intending to run a business. Now remember, 205,000 naira has been spent. Or let's say even you've run a loss, but the company still has 200,000, 75. Okay, 320,000 kept for the company. This one is for company. It means that, let's say for example, somebody calls you and say, there's a promo that company want to do, or you want to buy more goods. It is this remaining money that you use to buy goods. There's no need of you trying to go and borrow. The reason why these Igbo men are borrowing, a lot of our brothers in Onitsha, in Apata, in different places, they collect loan. Businessmen, they're always collecting loan because they did not schedule their spending. We have run business for 10 years as married couples. We have never borrowed. Every expansion and everything that we've done as a family, we have no bank can say that we have come to borrow from them. Zero loan. We build and we do everything we want to do according to the resources we have. So now, at the first instance, where you are the CEO, the marketer, the logistic officer and everything, at the end of the day, if you pay yourself this 150,000 naira profit salary, because you are the one doing all this job, your tithe is 15,000 naira. So because your general business brought in 600,000 naira profit, does not mean that your tithe is 60,000. That's a wrong calculation. You are taking the responsibility of everybody that gives you sickness and makes you weak in your body. If this business begins to grow, remember you will employ somebody to take up this responsibility. What God asks from you is the 10% of your income, not the 10% of your company's profit. Is someone listening to me?
Yes.
Not 10% of your family income or your company's income. No. If you want to sow seed, you want to go give to Rhapsody, you want to give to that, it's from this 150 that you paid to yourself. That's where it starts. So you remove your tithe, 15,000. It is from this 150 that you have that you find your girlfriend. For men that always have girlfriends, that's where you buy airtime from your girlfriend. So your girlfriend cannot come to tell you, give me money now, and you give. And if your rent every month is 500,000, every year is 500,000, it means that you'll be saving 50,000 naira monthly, right? It is from this 150. So before you dash your mother money, your sister money, your uncle money, you have to remove your rent. 50,000 naira rent contribution. Remove your tithe, 15,000. Remove your cream money. Remove your feeding money. Remove all of these things before you can give someone. So someone can be a billionaire, and yet what is available for them per month is just 300,000 or 400,000. You know, something happened. I used to send money to my mom and my mother-in-law and some other people. And all of a sudden, they began to act like the money I was sending to them, 200,000 naira every month, is a small money. And I made a choice. I said, I'm not giving them a dime anymore. Sometimes, do you know how much that comes to me personally at the end of the day? Yes, the company can do hundreds of millions of sales and this. Do you know how much comes to me after every, how much I get? It is from that money that comes to me that I buy the things I buy. Do you understand? It is from that money I give the things I give to you. So if you are somebody and I give you money, you get up to 200,000, you are taking more than 20% of my earning. And then you feel entitled because, oh, maybe you saw me, I bought new things. As the CEO and the marketing director of the company owes me to buy me gadgets every season. Yes, that's the reason. The reason why the company bought me iPhone 16 Pro Max is because the iPhone 17 Pro Max is because the iPhone 16 I had, the memory was full. So the chairman said, okay, fine, since I do a lot of videos and this thing is important that so this phone was bought to me by the company. The Helos that was bought for the company, I'm the CEO, and I'm supposed to know when the chairman needs things. So I take it as our chairman is going to have this thing, and for this company that have done so, our chairman needs his own official car, and he said he loves Helos. And we bought him a 2025 Helos. I'm the wife. I'm the CEO of the company. But that Helos is under the company, which is spearheaded by me. Because if I don't approve it, it will not go. And sometimes you see that companies, workers, or the people, board of directors have to relinquish their shares to accommodate what they want to do for their chairman or CEOs. Do you understand? And that's why that one was bought by me, but now to our chairman. Now, you cannot wake up as a business person and see a Camry because you have a profit of 10 million. You see a Camry car or car of this, you carry 10 million and buy that car. You don't have it. That money is not your own. If you have a total capital of 10 million naira, a JCMS, yes, because that's what most of you do monthly. Out of that 10 million naira sales that you make, if your profit is 3 million naira or 2 million, do you know the only money that you have access to is 30% of that 2 million? That is where it comes. Now, see what happens. Most of you introduce your husbands or your spouses to businesses and they refuse. Your husband cannot see 10 million naira in your account and then turn around and say, my wife has 10 million naira and she doesn't want to give to me. That is a poor man, uneducated, illiterate mentality. If your husband sees 10 million in your account that you use to run business, what is available to you is 30% of that money. So what is the 30% of 10 million, please? 3 million. 3 million, right?
Yes.
3 million. So if 30% of that money is available to you, which is 3 million naira, this is what you say. You tell your husband, sir, I have logistic officer. In this logistic officer structure, my company pays that logistic officer, which is you that is collecting it now, 100,000 naira a month. So if you will help me to be going to the park to drop the way bill, pick up way bill, I will be paying you that 100,000 naira monthly, sir. Have you seen? That's what it is. So there's no need of forcing him to help you post the products. If he doesn't want to market the product, that is his own business. Then if your husband say, okay, fine, I love what you're doing, I want to start marketing this business, let us do it together. Now, how much is paid to marketers in the company? Marketers are paid 40K. So two of you will now divide that 40K into two, which is how much? 20,000 each. So his logistics plus his marketing, 20 at the end of the month, he's entitled to what? 120.
Yes,
Okay.
100 for logistics, 20 for marketing.
No. It's not 100. What are you doing?
You said logistics is for
Logistics is 20,000 naira.
Yeah, you said 100.
100.
Okay, 100,000. Okay, sorry. Yes, if we're doing for 100,000, logistics 100,000. Then marketing is that money. Our marketing it should be higher.
You said 40, we divided it.
Okay, we're dealing with 3 million naira, not the 600,000. Okay, sorry, please, we're dealing with 3 million. So if you have grown where you make 3 million naira profits every month as a business, and then your husband wants he wants to share from the money you're making. It's simple. You look at it. How much do you accrue to yourself as the person who is the logistic officer? If it is 100,000, you tell him, okay, sir, I do pick my product and supply the product to the park for people who do way bill for me. If you accept to be going to the park to carry my way bill when it arrives, and also when I package my way bill for my distributors, you carry it to park and give it to logistic people. Have accounts or phone number of the logistic people to make sure that my clients receive this product. This is not husband and wife something where you go and drop it. When I call you and say, please Cherish, where is the who did you give the product to? It's, I'm saying, no. It's not something. No, it's not. You are paid for it. It means that as I'm employing and paying you, you have to come back and say, okay, I gave the way bill to Peacemas. And this is who I handed it over to in Peacemas. And this is the person's phone number. And if my customer calls after 2 days or 3 days without receiving the goods, sir, it does not matter whether you are the head of the family or not. You will go to the park because you are the one who is the logistic manager. You go to the park and make arrangements to make sure that goods gets to that person. It's not when they call you say, this is your business, I don't want to even do it. No. It's not an emotional thing, sir. This is a business. Okay? Now, another aspect of this thing that is very stressful is the transportation. Let's say, for example, your husband has a car and maybe you want to go for offline prospecting and he carries you in that car. Ask him, find out how much Uber or who again? Uber or who? Both will carry you from here. Let's say, for example, from 8 miles to White Market is 3,000 naira online. If your husband carries you in his vehicle to White Market, Be righteous enough to pay him his 3,000 naira. Don't say, but he's my husband now. He's my husband. No, see, be serious with your life. Because if you don't keep to the rules, at the end of the day, there will be issue. Do you understand? So these are ways to partition salaries so that you can use it now. For people who have shops who are not doing JCMS, for example, our Igbo men who have shop. Some of you don't even know how much there is in your shop. You can employ your wife as a storekeeper. What will happen? At the beginning of the month, she can spend 3 days in your shop calculating the goods that are there. If you sell trousers will have 50 trousers. 50 trousers in the shop is worth 500,000. We have 50 shirts, 100 shirts. She will do all of those storekeeping informations and write it down. At the end of the month, she will come back and take stocks of those storekeeping and write it down so that you know the one that was stolen, the one that was sold, and the one that is remaining. And if peradventure you went and collected product, maybe people that are in China supply product free of on credit for you for 5 million, 10 million, let her know so that you will document it. That way, at the end of the month, you pay her money for storekeeper. Like here, storekeeper's money is 25,000. Of course, you know the job. If it is a job that you are making up to 4 million, 5 million naira in a month profit, you know how much to allocate because 30% of that money is supposed to be for worker salary. So you share it among the workers. If you have 10 or 15 workers, according to the importance of the job they are doing and their headship, okay? This your wife can decide to say, okay, fine, no, I also want to take up the cleaning job. Yes, you could go, she will come in the morning, open the shop. Since you are the boss, you can decide to stay as the CEO, try to tidy up things, attend to customers here and there. Now, she can decide to take up the place of a cleaner. She comes in the morning, open the shop, clean the place, and samples goods. So pay her the money for that. This same wife can say, okay, fine, I want to start marketing. You sell boutique, you sell clothes. She start posting the clothes on social media. That money that you pay to marketers, please pay her the money. So, as a woman or as a man, you can decide to take 5 or 6 jobs in that company, and your money will be huge. Now, let me tell you, I'm a nurse. I'm a nurse. I'm the health consultant of Gentu Smith Spices. So, I am paid as a health consultant. I am the human relation officer. I'm the one that mediates about things that are happening. They pay me. I'm the CEO of the company. I am paid as the CEO of the company. Do you understand? Now, I'm also the among the team of research, scientific research and formulators of the products and how products should be used. Those teams there are paid. Let me read out what we have in JCMS, the organogram of JCMS. We have chairman, we have CEO, we have healthcare manager, research and development specialists, scientists to formulators, product managers, production to manufacturing worker, environmental health and safety managers, marketing directors, business development manager, human resource manager, director of operations, accountant, IT and data manager, legal, quality assurance manager, cleaners, waste management, hospitality, secretary, and security. These are what we have. All right. Now, we can decide, as it is now, I'm taking up to 3 or 4 functions of this company. But in 2026, I'm going to have other things I'm going to be doing. And immediately the structures will complete the building of industrial city. We will not employ. Do you understand? Yes. Now, maybe I can decide to employ an environmental scientist. I won't be the one now to be checking the PPEs to make sure that the goods are packaged in a clean place, to make sure that the instrument, the things that are used to do this, I will not relinquish this to that person. And the salary that was paid to me here will not be paid to that person because I am no longer taking up that responsibility. So when you relinquish a responsibility in your business, another person takes up the responsibility, that money will be deducted from you. For example, you used to do housekeeping or storekeeping and you gave birth. You are no longer coming to church to work. And as a sole proprietorship business, we are not a company yet. We cannot afford to start paying you while you're in the house. Immediately you relinquish that responsibility, somebody else will begin to take it. Let's say, for example, your husband now becomes the person that is doing the storekeeping. That month he will take the salary of the storekeeper. The best thing you can do for yourself is to employ a help who will take care of your baby. You express your breast milk. So 2 days or 3 days, you rush in there, take all the stock, and get somebody to help you document it so that at the end of the month, you collect it. Whether you're sick or you're not sick does not mean that you will not wake up to do your job. As the head of marketing, if the sales that the company wants to sell at the particular month doesn't come, they will not pay me the amount that is stipulated that month. My amount will be deducted. Let's say, for example, the company has a target of making, let's say, 150 million sales. And then maybe I am paid 1 million naira as head of marketer or the marketing officer, marketing director. If the company makes a sales of, let's say, 75 million, which is half, they will pay me 500,000. So if I want to collect that complete 1 million naira salary, it means that I have to meet up that 150 million naira sales. And this is how all of this is calculated. And you see the resources and the money that we have. And how at the end of the day, my husband, maybe at the end of the day, of all the responsibility, he's the one in charge of, he's the one, director of operations. Yes, he's in charge of director of operations. He's the accountant. He is also the production manager, yes. Okay? He's the chairman. Of course, you know the chairman earns more. In an organogram of a company, the chairman earns more. So even if I'm the one putting more effort for the sales to happen, I cannot earn more than him. The chairman earns more, followed by the CEO. In fact, as a chairman, my husband earns 1 million naira higher than what I earn as a chairman. I'm the CEO. So it does not matter whether I'm the one. Now, understand that I brought the idea of Jenchu Smith Spices. Jenchu Smith Spices is my business. I brought it. But I made him the chairman. I gave him the chairman. So because you brought it, it's not what they start saying, after I'm the one that brought this chairman. No, that's not true. You gave him that chairman to oversee. Now, he will do the responsibility of a chairman. He has to bring ideas. There are things that the chairman of a company does. So it means that as you give out these responsibilities in your marriage, each and everyone who is in charge of this has to go and check what the responsibility of that person is. You cannot take up the cleaning of the place. Then at the end of the day, start looking for, honey, please help. No. If you want to share that responsibility, you have to share the salary with the person. If he refuses to do he's the director of operations, and then at the end of the day, I'm not the one that is trying to sort out way bills and distribute way bills, I will take part of the salary. So because he knows his responsibility, he's in charge. He's the accountant and the one who keeps stocks and every other thing. Everyone you supply goods to, he's the one that records it. So if the company tomorrow, he wants to relinquish you to do other things. Like, for example, look at what happened. For example, we learned that at a time, Tony, Uncle Tony of UBA left the CEO job and went into something else. For example, if tomorrow Jenchu Smith Spices become a very massive company and I raise leaders who can take up the responsibility of a CEO, I will now relinquish my salary to that new CEO. There's no sentiment in it. What will happen is this: because I invested my money in the startup of Jenchu Smith Spices. Remember, we've talked about 30%. The reason why the company would take only 30% in paying salaries is because there is something called board of directors of a company, and you pay them. Now, board of directors of companies or board shares are paid quarterly. Do you understand? So this remaining 70% is where the board of directors payments, quarterly payments comes from. You heard the other time that Tony Elmo was paid some billions of dollars, okay, from UBA. Millions of dollars, okay? And recently, Dangote was paid some shares, about $800 million or something, because they had a 1 billion naira sharing this in sales. So now, what I will do, while in this same company, and my husband is a chairman. As a chairman, there are things that chairman, board of directors sit down for this. So he's going to pay, what do they call it again, man, sir? This company will pay him quarterly. We pay him sitting allowance. Because now, as the company is growing, we will sit down to say, okay, fine, this is how we want to navigate this company in this year. Like we just ended the sales year for Jenchu Smith Spices in October. And it was from there we calculated and said, okay, fine. From there also, that is where we did our payouts. Shares So apart from this monthly salary, there should be quarterly shares salary. Now, if you came into that marriage, dear woman, listen, oh, some of you, my husband money is our money, and his money is my money. Now you sabi. If you came into this business and your husband started this business by himself, you can decide to say, okay, I will put 20 million to your business. Every year, every quarterly, that's every 3 months or 4 months, every 4 months, you are entitled to shares, whether you appear in that company or not, just by investments, because investors are paid. I invested my money in J2 Smith Spices. My husband invested his money in J2 Smith Spices. So he, apart from chairman and other operations he run that he gets his salary on monthly basis, he also gets a sharing as an investor, the shares from the company quarterly. Because quarterly, companies pay out their investors. So if your husband invested money, maybe gave you 5 million naira to start a business, you're not supposed to return that money within a month. Some of you, your husband will give you 1 million naira and they start putting a thread on your neck and on rope. Excuse me, please. So for husbands and wives who give each other money to run business, it is wickedness and illegal to collect that money in a month. When you are investing in a company, it's usually every 6 months or every year, the company will give you some amount of interest. And if you want to collect your money, you can decide to say, okay, I will put 1 million into this account. Every 6 months, you give me a share of 200,000 or 300,000. As long as that your 1 million is with her, every 6 months she will give you 300,000. But any day you collect that your buck 1 million naira from her, she cannot give you that money anymore. And you cannot give her 1 million naira and tell her she will give you the next month. You will crumble her business. Do you understand? Some of you give your wife 1 million naira or 2 million naira, you tell her, hey, give me by next month. No, that's not it. And women, before you collect money from your spouses or your husband, make an agreement. When they collect loan from bank, do they pay it in 1 month? They pay it across a year or even 2 years. So find out. Because this is what crumble business. We ran J2 Smith Spices for 1 year plus before we started collecting investors' share. A business is supposed to stand, grow, before investors share. It's not because you see 10 million naira in your husband and wife account to say, she's no longer talking to me. She has grown arrogant. But you're giving me my 5 million. No, she cannot give you your 5 million, sir. If that 5 million was said that it will be given across 1 year, sir, you have to wait. Whether she insults you or she didn't insult you, deal with the insults. And this way, you can even divorce or not be together and still be business partners. Stop putting emotions to your business. All right? I want you to ask questions, please. I want you to ask questions. Somebody said, wow, 0 loan. Yes, we've never taken loan before. We've done things in billions. We've never taken loans, a single loan. Why should we take loan? It's because we structure. It's what you have that you get. If you don't earn, let's say, for example, any month, there is maybe the people who are in charge of this in operations are found wanting in their work. We deduct, because we deduct the money. If the operation team is supposed to collect 500,000 and you people did not perform well, maybe you delayed our products, we will reduce the pay. Instead of 500,000, you'll be collecting 200,000 or 300,000. So if you want to collect your complete pay, you must do your job. It does not matter whether this business is run by you and your wife. It doesn't even matter. Stick to your money. Now, out of this, that money you collected is where, if you want to buy your wife a watch, you buy a watch for her. That's where my husband does not move money from the company to buy me a hair or to buy me any gift. No, I don't move money from the company to buy my husband anything. Like this thing that was bought is not from the company. You don't move the whole of company's money to GAM because you're emotional. Say, I love you, I love you. No, it's not like that. It's that salary. If you collect his chairman's money and collect all the head of operation and everything, let's say, for example, he's entitled to 5 or 10 million naira. It is from that 10 million naira he will pay his tithes. From that 10 million naira, he will sow his seed. It's from that 10 million naira he will give me as his side chick money so that I will be performing well in bed. It's from that money he will pay his children's school fees. From that money he will give money for the... So he will not wake up one day and start touching the 70 or 80 million in the company account because he has access to it. No. he can only attempt to touch the money that is paid to him. Meaning, in between the months, he cannot open company's accounts to take any money from it. Neither can I take money. It's at the end of the month when the company has paid him salary and paid others as every other person is receiving. That is where everyone will start their expenditure. So his mother cannot call him from the village and say, Benjamin, don't want, I need 10 million. And he start moving money from company because he saw a billionaire in company accounts. He doesn't have the money. He doesn't have it. That's how it's done. Because I see some people say, I cannot leave my mother. I love my mother so much. Assuming you're working in a company and your salary is 1 million naira, where will you get the 10 million naira to give to your mother? You are always to do something. God requires 10% of your money, not your company's money. Now, for most of you who believe, let's say you have spiritual health, like in Jen Smith, we have spiritual health, because aside marketing, we also teach the word, we pray for people, we do other things. The company can say, okay, for our prophets, the person who oversees, this is the amount. My husband receives a salary from Jen Smith as the spiritual head and mentor of the company. Now, if you and your pastor, your husband are not ministers, or you people don't do this thing, if you have people who pray for you, you have a pastor who pray for you, who does things for you, you go to receive spiritual advice from, you can decide to say, okay, our company gets spiritual advice from this person. Let's say that person also mentors your distributors, because we mentor our distributors. We teach them spiritual things and we pray for them. So it is part of the things that are incorporated in the company. Like we do our crossover nights, and I teach in that crossover night. I am paid. The company pays me, it's their location. So as the pastor of this thing, you're paid. As the coach, you're paid. You stipulate it that way so that when each of you gathers your money, it will be something reasonable and you cannot spend from there. Now, let me tell you something. It is from that money that you build your house. So, yes, you cannot build house with company money. Because assuming is you're not working in the company, or you're not the owner, you don't have access to the company account, what will happen? It's from that place you buy cow. Unless now your company comes together and say that we are a multi-billion naira company. It is not good that our chairman and CEO does not have a house. Do you understand? Because there are some companies that give houses. Yes, there are big companies give their workers, directors, workers, and other, they give them houses to live in. So now you can decide to buy a property in the name of the company and where your CEO and your chairman will live. And in this instance, the CEO and the chairman is the husband and the wife, because we are talking about family what business. So two of you can now use your this thing and then you build. And of course, that money should not be something that will affect the company. For example, let me tell you something. If you don't run your business like this, inflations will affect your business. Now, there's a certain amount we used to buy pouches. All of a sudden, the person where we buy pouches from said we would start paying. In fact, we started paying tax last month. And I called the company. I said, how can you ask us to start paying tax when government said that the tax will be paid from January? He said that they started their own business year has started. So they've started paying tax. I said, no problem. So now we pay 15% tax each time we buy pouches. Have you seen this? But we can still sustain the company because company has some percentage of money. So let's say now, for example, your company makes 100 million naira a month. You use 30%, which is what? 30 million for salaries. You use 30% for salaries. You still have 70 million, right?
Yes.
Now, out of this 70 million, you're going to keep the rent. You're going to keep the rent of the shop. Because let's say, for example, if your company is using the property rented or owned, let's say, for example, I and chairman, we are building Industrial City. Every company in Industrial City will pay us rent. Yes, as we are building Industrial City, Gentry Smith Spices will be paying rent to us because we own it. Industrial City is not owned by Gentry Smith Spices. Reversal Plautus company will pay us. We are their landlord. So tomorrow, if somebody wakes up, if your business goes public and they remove you as the CEO or chairman, you are still their landlord. They will still pay you landlord money. So that's how you do those things. You buy those things. Do you understand? They will still pay you. So at the end of the month, you will see when Gentry Smith Spices, all the companies that are found in Industrial City will be paying I and the chairman salary because we use our own money to build the Industrial City. Do you now understand? So now, from this 70 million that is money is where the rent, let's say your rent is 5 million naira. Have you seen 35 million is out? Now you have to pay your tax. Share they say 15% tax. 15% tax of 70 million is how much?
Expenses. It's after expenses.
Yes, the 70 million is after expenses. Okay. Sorry. Yes. 65. So now the remaining money is 65 million. Yes. 50% of 65 million is how much?
That's 9,750,000.
9.7 M. Okay. Now, at the end of the day, you will see that the company will have, let's say, maybe 50 something million. Out of that 50 something million, every quarterly, you are to pay your investors. And if you and your husband invested to start that business, it means every 4 months you will pay out shares. The problem why you people don't have shares to pay out is that you use the money that is in the account and waste it. So you have to keep money. It is from this money that companies generate. They now pay out shares to their investors. And since the business is run by two of you, according to the percentage that is in that, according to the shares of the company, that investment will be paid. Do you understand? Fortunately for me, in my husband's mining company, he gave me the highest share. So even though he will go to the bush by himself to bring out this, to when he sells it, I will earn the more money because when he was registering the company, he gave me the highest share. So do you understand? So now, company payouts are devoid of emotions or involvement. Investors, whether an investor helps you to do the business or not, you will pay out the shares. So it's not something like, my husband does not help me. As long as you made him the chairman. So before you make person chairman, know what they do. As long as he invested his money. As long as he invested his money, he gave you 1 million naira for that business, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. He will always have the quarterly payout interest. But however, if he gives you that 1 million naira and tells you to pay all of it, he does not have it. It's as long as his money, his capital is in that company. That is when he has a share. Prophet, you can come, please, if you want to.
As long as if he has, if he
How can somebody be asking me how do I buy shares? For goodness sake,
I
we
have
don't.
answered that.
We've answered. No, let's answer it here. We don't. Please, we don't do shares. I am explaining to you. I'm just explaining to you what a husband and wife should do. What we have is ambassadors. Everybody in J2 Smith Spices are CEOs. They are own individual CEOs. If you're a regional, you're a CEO of your own marketing because every marketer in J2 Smith Spices are CEOs. Sorry, man of God, you're a CEO. Emmanuel Dontera is a CEO. Dontera Incorporated. He buys buy product from J2 Smith Spices. So he is the one. Betan Trillion, Eniola, and others. Pharmacy Ngozi, those are, we don't even have workers. We don't have workers. What we have is marketers. So these marketers will have also stipulated, so distributors. Now, as a company, we give, when you buy a product of 120K, your profit is 30,000 naira. That's how much? That's how many percent? 30, how many percent of, okay, 10% of this is 10,000, right? No, 12,000. 12,000. So, 24 is 20,000. 24,000 is 20%. So, let's say they are having up to 25%. Yes. So now, every marketer in our company makes 25%. Minimum. Minimum 25% of product purchase. Regionals make up to 50%. So we've already calculated that one out. So we don't have shares. We don't have shares. What we have is ambassadors and distributors. Okay. I hope that has been answered. Somebody's asking, after removing 30% for workers, the remaining 70% is for what? The remaining 70% is where you pay your rent. The rent comes from there because an office is supposed to have a rent. Okay? Expansion. That is where the expansion is. That is where you
pay out
shareholders and investors. That's where you pay as shareholders and investors. So you don't even have money. And as a company that wants to grow, you must have the intention to grow higher. You must have the intention. Let's say you started with 120. It is from that 70% that you increase to a state distributor of 1.1 million. It is from that savings that you increase to a regional of 10 million naira purchase. If you don't keep that 70%, you will not be able to get there. And let's say, for example, the company now decide to say, we are no longer selling 10,000 naira per pack. We are selling 15,000. It is from that 70% that you will now use to be in business. Have you seen so many people who do importation? All of a sudden, the importation prices and dollar increases, their business crumble because they don't have reserve. It's that reserve that cushions you in the time of problem. So that's what it is. That place is no-go area at all. You have to must stick with it. And that is where it will now get to a time, prophet, you say, okay, this business has grown. We need a car. You cannot buy that car for yourself. 20 million, 15 million. That car now will be registered because you're paying tax. You will say that car will be registered under your company logistics. Let's say, for example, Donterra Incorporated Limited. If Donterra buys, let's say, a Mercedes Benz for himself for 15 or 20 million, he's not going to pay tax on it. He's going to record it under logistics. So Donterra needed a car to be doing his business. That's why he bought it. So you don't get tax from it. Do you understand? Yes, you can decide to build a house tomorrow. You're building that house on that company complex or accommodation. You can decide to name that your house company headquarters. You build 3-bedroom or duplex. You name it company headquarters. Do you understand? So you are not going to pay tax on it. So these are where these things are done. All right? Prophet, please, sorry.
No, you want me to ask
Oh, they can't hear him.
They can hear me now. I've got,
okay?
yeah, I got to hear. I got to hear headset. It's important, you and your husband or wife define the money he's giving to you. Are you giving me money so that you collect back your money, or you give me money, then we stipulate it? Let's say we have a new company. I won't tell you the name of one of the companies I want to start so that you don't go and use it.
Write the one that we've started already.
Like,
We've registered.
like Genchuk's Mixed Spices Limited. Now, Mama has got 60% of it. Mama owns 60% of Genchuk's Mixed Spices. Now she owns 60% of Genchuk's Mixed Spices, and Saben owns 40% of the company this time around.
Is your children not in the juice? Okay, we didn't put
No,
them.
you didn't put them. You say you're not. You say you're not putting them. It's a reversal, the mother company that all of them are part of it. Now, when you have shares given to a spouse in your company, whether the spouse gave 1 naira to start the business or not.
No, let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. The shares should be according to contribution because they choose me spices.
I want to,
monetary.
yeah, I want to.
No,
put
let's
something
no,
there for
no.
those
If
who
you
didn't
go,
put
if
money.
yes, no. If you go that anybody who didn't put money shouldn't have shares.
That's exactly what I want to say.
Shares.
So you don't go
Don't give shares.
emotionally and go and give
Don't
shares
give
to
shares.
somebody without money. Remember, whether they gave money or not, as long as you've given them a share,
They will be
by
collecting
law,
money. Every quarter.
by law, when you're paying out dividends
Yes.
to
Quarterly.
shareholders,
Exactly.
they are going to get something. For instance, it's just that most times in Nigeria, wills are not written properly and not read. I see some young guys, they start a company, and most times they use their mom, they put their mom in it as part of the shareholders, and they give shares to their mom because that's the person at that time they can trust and do. Now, if in the long run, before your mom passes on to glory, and you don't rectify, or you don't say these shares are not financially binding,
Yeah, exactly.
so she's not getting any returns in investments. When she passes on to glory, your siblings can come to claim dividends from that company because their mother owns a share in that company. So if in a year you make $10 million, take for instance, and now a company decides to use 5 million naira to pay out partners, shareholders of the company, and let's say you own 60%, and you gave your mom 40%, or you own 90% and you gave your mom 10%. Out of that $5 million you want to pay out, your mom has $1 million and you're getting $4 million. Well, your siblings can come lay claim on it.
Yes.
And they are going to share out of that $1 million. whether they do anything or not, their mom's name is on the board of directors and shareholders of that your company.
Yes, sir.
So you need to understand this. So if you're making your husband a shareholder, your wife a shareholder in your company out of love, whether monetary or non-monetary,
You can cite it
and
has no monetary
you should
value.
know how to cite it. If it has monetary value, cite it. Ours have monetary values because we invested in it.
Yes, yes.
So when they are paying out, if they are paying out $100 million now,
Can
they are
we use
going to
Naira? We
pay.
are in Naira this year. Let's use
Okay, if they
Naira,
are
please.
paying out
Let's
100,
say,
yeah, if they are paying out 100 million naira now, they are going to pay Mama Jane 60 million
yes,
naira, and they are going to
40
pay
million.
Saben 40 million naira because it's financially
Now,
binding.
and these shares are
And
paid for,
whether,
they are different from the salaries.
yes, and now whether Mama Jane does anything for Jane Choose Prices Limited or not, she's going to get that money. Whether she
Quarterly.
grows old to 100 years and does not do anything again, no way, she's going to grow a lot old and be very fine. They are still going to be paying her
Exactly.
because she owns 60% of the
So
company.
now, salaries are for workers. So because your wife or your husband is collecting shares, let's say for example, as we did end of close of year sales, and because he is a shareholder in the company, maybe he got up to 50 or 40 million naira profit shares. Does not mean that at the end of October you will not pay him salary.
No, you
Because
still pay worker
there
salary.
are people who are shareholders who are not workers.
Yes.
So workers, as a worker in that company, they get their monthly salaries. As shareholders, they get their quarterly shares. Do we understand what is going on? That way it becomes the same. Then now, if your husband or your wife already have an established business and you came into that business, let's say for example, the business was worth 10 million and you decide to say, okay, fine, I'm going to invest 10 million so that we can do it 50-50. No, you can't do 50-50 because intellectual property is there.
Yes.
You cannot do 60-40. If your wife comes and refuses to invest any money in that your business, that person cannot get any shares.
Of course.
However, as somebody that is warming your bed and your sweetheart that you're turning back and forth, if you collect your money, your own shares, like now, Papa, when he collects his own, you will find me as his babe something. Do you understand? That is the thing. You can be finding her something as a babe. Know that she has a right over the money in your company. I hope everybody else understands this. Then this is it for women who are building Juice spices, whose husbands refuse to market or do the business and decide to be doing a business that is not generating up to 1 billion naira. He doesn't own any money in that business. And if there is any business he brings for you to invest in, you people must have limited shares in that business. You cannot just give him money because he's your wife. And you cannot give your husband money because he's
Yes,
your wife.
and this is
If you
very
want to dash, you
important.
dash.
Now, this is very important. Please, this is because we are ministers who handle a lot of issues. This is very important. I notice that most men do that miss. They have that entitlement mindset. Just because your wife has got 5 million naira and you want to do you have a business opportunity that comes up and you need her to be a part of, you need her to support you with money. Listen, there's a place of you saying, honey, please, can you borrow me 5 million naira? I'm going to pay you back. That you're going to pay her back.
Somebody said the sound of, okay, let's just remove this, please. Emma, remove, let's see. Your sound is low. Where's the
So the place of saying, honey, this is here. I would like you to bring your 5 million naira and partner with me.
Exactly.
And this is what you're going to get as the business yields. Is either as a one-time payment or as a business continually yields.
Or as long as that 5 million is with me, every 3 months you get
Yes,
it.
you get
Every
it,
4 months you
you
get
get
a certain amount of money.
money.
But when I return the 5 million, you don't have any.
That doesn't mean I don't love you and I'm not going to be giving you something.
Exactly, yes.
Now this helps to clear cut engagements and not have any form of issues. You know, when I say this, people tend to say, Saben, why are you saying things like this? Are you saying this? Is it that are you expecting trouble? And listen, when things are spelled out, when benefits
Are spelled out,
efficiency is much more given. When people know exactly what they are going to benefit, their effort is better than working in isolation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now she knows that, okay, you might be looking at
Let me cite an example. A lady works in the bank and she got a loan of 2 million naira and gave to the husband to invest in one of his business. After she put the 2 million naira, after some months, she asked the husband, please, what is my interest in this business? The husband said, the car be fueling to take us to church and drop you at work. Where do you think those money?
That's criminal.
Have you seen?
That's criminal.
This is the reason
that's
why.
Fraud.
That's where the problem of marriages,
that's
not building
fraudulent.
businesses,
That's
and
fraudulent.
not growing.
That's fraudulent.
Okay?
That's fraudulent.
Yes. You
fraudulent.
buying fuel does not matter. It does not even matter whether you bought her a wristwatch of 5 million or 10 million. She didn't ask you for it. You gave it out of your own distance.
You collected money for an investment.
Also, some women, their husband will give them money to hold. And then they say, there was no fuel in the house. You go and collect the money. Then when he asks you, say, but there was no fuel and I had to buy an oil generator so that the food will not spoil. Are you silly?
No, it's wrong.
It's wrong.
Absolutely wrong.
You are to call him and tell him that there is no fuel in the house. He will not tell you, okay, out of the money I gave to you, remove it and do this. A woman came to me, her husband gave her 1 million naira to go, and she wanted to buy products for trade fair. She said she wants to use the money. I said, no, don't. The husband clearly told her not to touch the money. I said, no, don't use the money to do any business. We need to put things right. Because the man gave you money to hold does not give you a right to use it to transition. Because he can need that money at any time.
You see, I can go to Mama. I can carry Mama's ATM and buy anything I want. In fact, Mama will feel laugh and say, he said, Daddy, Daddy, buy something for yourself. She will give them if I say I need one, Mama will say, Mama will say, Daddy, take ATM card.
But not company account.
I don't do that.
You don't do that.
I don't. Mama can use my ATM, to do anything she wants. But she doesn't. Not because I will quarrel her over it. No! I've never purchased anything. Mama will say, Daddy, you're buying too much something for me. You're spending too much money on me. No, but she won't do that. Not because she can't, but respect. See, learn to respect
people's money.
Learn to respect people. Your wife can give you 2 million naira. You requested for money for business, and she gave you 2 million naira. She even took a loan. Do you know she's going to pay that loan?
Exactly.
With interest.
That thing brought issue in their marriage. In fact, it brought about a separation. She went to her parents' place.
Now, and now you're saying the fuel I've been buying, where did it come from? So if she hadn't given you the 2 million naira, won't you buy fuel for your car? Now, if you collect,
somebody asks, how do we pay tax? Yes, you pay tax after all expenses.
Yes.
After you have removed the money you use in buying the goods. Let's say, for example, you bought product of 600,000 and you made profit of 300,000. Now, out of that 300,000, your transportation, your worker's salary, because whether you're the only one doing that business, you will include all these workers that want, because a company is made up of
not having profit yet until you remove.
That is just that. I think that's gross. Then we have net.
Yes,
gross profit. Now they will only remove money from net profit, because 30% of that 300,000 is used for salaries. Then you have your rent. You remove your rentage. Whether you are staying in your house to do that business, every business has a place that is taken. So remove that rentage from your money, even if it's inside your house.
They run adverts.
Even if you are using your phone to run adverts, put radio advertisement, so amount of money. Do you understand? Visibility of those things. Because if you went to radio to pay, you pay money to run adverts.
So
if you put signposts, you pay the state. So if you are using your Facebook platform to post and market, you will remove that money there. So that at the end of the day, you might have a profit, a gross profit of 3 million naira. And by the time you remove all of these things I've spoken about, you will be having a net profit of 500,000. So it is that 500,000 that you're paying them tax on. Do you understand? That's why I say whether you're doing the business alone, stipulate salary for secretary, because you do the job of secretary. Logistic manager, you do the job. Collect all your monies. You are the one stressing yourself. Shebi, they say company should pay tax. A company is made up of workers, is it not?
Yes.
And also board of directors. That's why if you register in a company, you must have board of directors in it. So you will remove those money, pay out for the board of directors. Rent for your business, whether you stay in your house or not, it's none of their business.
You're not going to
do this thing. You understand? Your Facebook advertisement is not government that is doing it for you. So you remove your money. You remove money for your data, remove money for your this thing. Let's say, for example, if you place advert with somebody's page, as my page, I have about 5 to 10 million 10 million visibility monthly. If the company wants to pay an influencer That's why they pay me as the marketing manager. I'm the marketing director. They pay me, okay? And they pay me good. Now, if the company is supposed to go and meet all these influencers, they will pay them up to 1 million naira in a year, or 5 million, or even 10 million. So you remove that money, you remove that influencer, because you are the influencer of your business. By the time you remove all that money, at the end of the day, it might just be remaining maybe 300,000. That is what you will not tell the government that my profit this month, out of the 3 million naira profit I made, by the time I remove all my things and pay salaries and every other thing, what was remaining as a net profit was 300,000. It is in that 300,000 naira that you pay your 15% tax, not in your 3 million. I hope you understand that. Not in your 3 million. That's why I say draw up an organogram. Draw up an organogram of your business. That way you'll be able to know, because sometimes you give to lawyers or all these people to do, they don't even know. But when you bring this and tell them this, they know that okay, this person knows what they are doing. So you might have a profit of 5 million, 10 million in a month, and at the end of the day, the net profit is this thing. What do they call it? If you're the one who is praying, profits come. If you're the one who is praying for your company, you should pay the spiritual counselor. Write it there. Are you not the one doing the fasting? See, if you people know what you're doing, this government will not take your money. I'm telling you the truth. You are the one doing fasting, praying every midnight. So pay spiritual counselor money. You pay chairman, pay CEO, pay spiritual counselor, pay cleaner, pay security, pay this. If they ask you you do this thing, transfer those money. You say those monies was moved to pay. They will ask you as a company, how many workers do you have? Like we have about 40 workers. Yes, as a full functional company. So whatever profit comes, that salaries are allocated to 40 workers. Is when you finish paying that salaries, and then we pay all other these things, that the remaining thing will come out, and then the company will not say this is what we have. So because you saw 1 billion naira in Juice Me Spices account, does not mean that I will pay 1 billion naira tax of 1 billion naira. No. Out of that 1 billion naira, it might be let's say maybe 100 million. That is the profit, the net profit. So it is that 100 million that they will tax. And if out of the 1 billion, the net profit is 20 million, it is that 20 million they will tax. So organize your company framework. Draw up an organogram. Whether you are running the business alone or not, it does not matter. Yes, you are a distributor of Juice Me Spices. Every month, Pharmacy Ngozi marketing business. You put it, you can just name it like this, or Pharmacy Ngozi Logistics, or Ngozi Logistics, whatever you want to name it. You put the salary of the CEO, put salary of the chairman, because every company has chairman, has CEO. Put salary of the cleaner, put salary of the logistic person, the driver. When you don't pay all of these things all, and remove the rentage, remove the fuel, remove the transportation, the data and everything, is what is remaining, my sister, that you will pay tax from. So because government saw 100 million pass through your account as sales, does not mean that you'll be taxed on that 100 million. Out of that 100 million, by the time you pay out all these sales, maybe you'll be paying tax for only 1 million. That's it.
And it also helps you yourself, so that you actually know the growth you require. Just because you made 1 billion naira pass through your account in a month does not mean that's a profit you made.
Yes.
And this is a mistake a lot of persons are making. You know, as an Angwa had in a shop.
Yeah, exactly.
Shop, you know, they are seeing goods.
Yes, sir.
Plenty goods in the shop. You see
Why
goods.
you find like this?
They see goods. They see goods of 1 million naira or 10 million or 100 million naira in the shop, and they automatically assume that they have 100 million naira. You don't have 100 million naira, because if you spend 100 million naira, if you go on the spending drift, and it's spending drift, right?
Spree.
You go on a spending spree and start spending because you saw 100 million naira worth of goods in your shop, you will land into trouble, because your profit, I don't think there's any goods in shop that is 100 million and the profit is 100 million.
No.
It's always less than that.
Mm-hmm.
It's always less than that. Now, don't forget, you've got to pay a salary of your workers, you have logistics to deal with.
Yes. You have rent to pay.
You have rent to pay, and you have restocking. And there's a possibility of inflation. It happened once. We were all here. People bought goods of 20 naira. sold for 21 naira, went to market, the goose is not 25 naira.
Exactly, sir. So don't panic, don't panic at all.
It's not 25 naira.
This
So
can't really panic you at all.
Relax, organize your life, organize your business. It's very important. This is why I keep saying husband and wife should
sit down.
See, I am not a fan. I keep saying this. I'm not a fan of my own thing. I don't like that thing. A lot of persons are saying it, she's doing her own thing. I am doing my own thing. You don't understand the concept of the two shall become one. I don't like my own thing.
That's the thing goes here. So, now, profit is done. Let me now gist you how you can have extra money. So now, in this company business that you people are doing, now this is for women. This is what you can now do. As a submissive woman that you are, let's say, for example, at the end of the month, your husband gets a share of his own, maybe 3 million or 1 million or thereabouts. Or maybe you are just starting, he gets 500,000 or 600,000. Now, man, when get woman, when they enter, he go pay, he go do this thing, he go drop something. Because if he gets side chick, he go drop something. Play your key very well. When you take care of him very well, you collect the side chick. See, at the end of the day, sometimes, I have more money in my account. Because I collect money as a babe. Then he will also give money. Right now, we now push shares. It's okay, fine. All these years, for the past 10 years, we run our family where I just use my money to buy foodstuffs and buy this thing. But now, I want to enter enjoyment level and my baby girl life. So we've agreed that every month he will be giving money for housekeeping. So now by the time I collect money for housekeeping, I collect money for girlfriend, and then I do all the things I need to do, I will not have extra money to my pocket. You understand? Remember, there are things that your husband cannot afford when the company is just building, starting up. Yes, he might not afford to do some certain things. So give him room to grow. When he grows, you can start making demands of certain money. It becomes more reasonable. Because your company has 20 million, 30 million, does not mean you just wake up and say, give me 500,000 after I'm the one working for it. No, go through the normal structure and get the money. And that's why when your family members call you and say, give me money, you don't have money. Because you own a company that runs billions, and it does not mean it's your money. Do you understand? Yes, you have to live your life. Because all your expenditures, because as a chairman or somebody who has gone, like Papa has 5 cars to maintain, 2 mansions to maintain. So it is from that his house, that's his salary, his earnings, that he will maintain. I and him, we maintain the 2 mansions. It is from there we take care of the domestic workers because they are here, they are eating, they are paid. It is from that place, not the company money. No. Children's school fees, children vacation, programs or outings is from there. Babe, come and take me out. It's from his own salary. Not be say, okay, let's remove money from this thing now. Let's just remove. No, wait until. So you have to wait until money comes. Okay? Now, because I know Papa has a lot of money and he can do some certain things, so I can just come and make demands. Like for the past 10 years of our marriage, 11 years of relationship, I don't used to ask him for anything. But I know now he has the money, so I can ask. I'm dropping my independent woman right now. I'm no longer independent again. No, I'm that dependent because we have built. I've helped him to build. He has stabilized financially. And he's growing and multiplying. So I've dropped independence. So at the initial stage of your business, you can take up some independence roles, okay, to help him build the bill. As he's growing and company is growing, and you know that your husband now earns enough money to take care of you, you cannot sit back and say, I'm returning to my baby girl's life. Okay. Now for husbands who don't encourage you in business and they tell you, just remove your money and share you, they still business. Tell them say you no get. Now the one way you get, you go remove. When you don't pay all the money, that salary will be your own. Now there we go remove. The fact that he sees 5 million, 10 million in your account does not mean that money is yours. You're aiming for expansion. You're aiming for growth. For most of you who are walking around selling tea, don't you want a car? Now there we go bring money, buy your car now. No be so. Now there we go bring money, buy your wig, buy clothes, and do your online influencing and every other thing. You know, it does it. It's there. So as it stands now, because our company now has made a lot of money, I'm paid for influencing very well. My salary is, I paid millions now. And that's where I buy my makeup, I buy the things I know I do, I buy the things I need for my influencing. And that's why I'm always online teaching, because I'm making sure that the money they pay me, I'm working for it. In fact, very soon say they should pay me more, because with if you see my pages now, I think we'll check the sales, we review the marketing this thing, man of God. So that's the thing. The more effort you make, the more you can now make demands. Okay? Alright. People, yes, so who say Chapaka say mama papa beg kiss mama again. You people are so spoiled in this business. So I hope you've learned enough. I hope, you know. Is there anybody that wants to join us? 1 hour. Okay. This section is long enough. All right. Thank you very much for joining us, and God bless you. God bless you. I want to see you succeed, and I'm praying for you. Thank you.